know where I'm going to fit this part of a video in anywhere, but I had to share with you. I went shopping this morning. At 3 o'clock this morning, I went shopping. Mostly because I couldn't sleep, and I felt semi-decent, and I thought I could make it to town, do my shopping, and get home, which I did. The interesting thing, or probably the better word would be the sad thing, is the store I went to, and it was in Merced. I was shocked. I have never, ever in my 28 years of life seen what I saw last night. Shelves were empty. There was not one roll of toilet paper in that store. It was like this whole great big long empty spot where toilet paper and napkins should have been. There was no sugar. There was no flour. There was no cornmeal. I was shocked. Like I said, in my whole 28 years of life, I've never gone into a store and seen empty shelves like I saw this morning. Yeah, it was strange. I was able to get some canned foods and things. I had my list on my phone. I wasn't going there to hoard stuff. Apparently others are. Oh, and in the meat aisle, or the meat case, there was very, very little meat. There was no hamburger. There were no pork chops. There was no chicken at all. The meat counter was empty. It was the weirdest thing. I got my groceries and went to another store down the street from where I was, and they had packages of hamburger meat, and they were disgusting. So I didn't get them. I've got venison and all kinds of wild game in the freezer that I can grind up if I need hamburger meat that bad. They had 3 packs of chicken, which looked pretty good, and I picked those up. And I think instead of freezing them, I usually wrap them in saran wrap and then put them in Ziploc bags and freeze them after I cut them in thirds or half, whatever. But this time I picked up some canning lids, and I think I'm going to can them. Canned chicken is the bomb. Oh my gosh, it is so good. You can put the different seasonings in it and put the lid on it and then pressure cook it. It's delicious. I cannot believe. And then you can put it on a shelf. You don't have to keep it in the fridge or keep it in the freezer. And if you do it right, it's fantastic. So tender, so moist. You can pour it right out of the jar, and you can actually eat it because it's pressure cooked for I think 90 minutes for chicken, depending on the size of the jar. So that's what I'm going to do with the chicken. I'm going to can it. And it's easier to take it on trips. That when I went on my last trip, my one and only RV trip, I took a bunch of my canned food, and I showed you out in the living room. I've got carrots, I've got all kinds of meats, I've got beans, jelly galore. Yeah, I can a lot. I love it, and I'm glad I did. First reason I'm glad I'm a canner is I took canned foods with me, including butter and cream cheese, which they say you're not supposed to do. So of course I wanted to try it. This time that I've been stuck here in the house because of my back hurting, wasn't able to go out. If I hadn't had my canned goods, I would have been doing a lot more shopping on my trip. The one I was gone for 3 months. Because I had canned so much, I didn't have to go out. I mean, I canned soups and you name it. I probably had saved me a lot of grocery shopping while I was out on my RV trip. I had food to eat here in the house that I'd canned that I wouldn't normally have. I don't have any advice for the general public, if you
than-
feel the need to hoard, then at least go to a disabled vet or a disabled elderly person and give them half a bag of groceries. They're struggling, you know. Both of those types of people, bless their hearts, and thank you, veterans. They struggle. They have a hard time getting up and getting a ride to the store. They have a hard time walking through the store. And they probably, like a lot of us, don't have a lot of money. So if you feel the need to hoard, at least share half a bag with someone in need. I've got a bag, this blue bag over here, that I'm going to take to someone that I know that is struggling. So just a little shout out. If you're going to hoard, share. I'm going to get busy putting this stuff away and finish filling up my gift bag, and I'll be back later. Bye. I don't like crowds. I don't like, you know, if you're going to go grocery shopping, people, leave your entire family at home. Go to the store, use one basket, and get what you need and get out. You don't need to stand in the middle of the aisle, blocking the aisle, visiting with someone, or stand there and be on your phone, not paying attention to your surroundings and blocking the aisle. And I don't mean this disrespectfully, but if you've got someone at home to watch that crying baby, for God's sake, leave the baby home. The baby doesn't like shopping. And I'm glad I went at 3 in the morning. The traffic was nothing because I have to drive 15 miles to town. And the traffic was nothing. The store, I think, not counting the employees, there was probably, I'm going to push it and say 6 people there. It was great. I just wanted to come back and tell you that I will be making a video when I can that chicken. Please don't forget, if you've got extra food, share it with a vet, share it with an elderly person who is basically housebound. You have no idea what it would mean to them to receive that, plus having the company. A lot of disabled people stuck in their house watching the TV, shuffle into the kitchen to get a cup of coffee, you know, and I got a good dose of that since, how long have I been sick with this back? Since December 31st is when they admitted me to the hospital. So it's been since December 31st, January 1st, that I have been pretty much housebound. And, you know, I get that people have lives and people have families and people have got, you know, dinner to cook and groceries to buy and laundry to do. I get it. But make that phone call. If that person crosses your mind, oh, I should call Grandma so-and-so, or I should call my neighbor, or whatever, you know, wonder how many, just any kind of little flash, take 5 minutes and call that person, or take them a gift bag, you know, some canned food, a loaf of bread, milk. It would probably mean so much to that person. Anyway, just saying. All right, I gotta go, guys. I'll see you later. Bye.